like you said, you could drop your dog off in the middle of nowhere and it would sit there and wait.
Well, try this. Yeah. I'll go home. I'll put Ann in a trunk and I'll drive around for a few hours.
Try that. Do it.
And then I'll put Daisy in a trunk and drive around for a few hours. One of them's going to love me. One of them's going to kill me. Which one do you think's going to do it?
Yeah. Well, Ann's going to kill you. I kind of feel like Ann's going to be on date night at some point. You need to clean up your act.
We're hearing all these little things.
Yes.
Well, on that note, thank you so much.
Let's have a chat, talk this and that with PB and Jaisy.
Hey, welcome to the PB and Jaisy podcast. It's Jaisy George, and I'm joined by
Sarah Paget and
Bill Stedham.
Yes,
the only one that didn't wear green today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't even own a green shirt. Maybe I should fix that.
Well, you look good in orange.
You do.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a nice color on you.
So, Ann, buy me some green stuff.
Yes, Ann, get on that. So I don't know about you guys, but I love animals. Are you guys big on? I know you've got two. I know that you've recently
lost one, but we're working on that.
Yeah.
So Daisy, that's my dog.
His two dogs equal like a half a dog.
Yeah,
they're
babies. Maybe
they weigh 15 pounds together, but everywhere I go, Daisy goes with me.
Aww.
So she's sitting on the couch all day waiting for me. As soon as I show up and drive into the backyard, as soon as that gate shuts, Ann opens the back door, and Daisy is right on my heels the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's cute.
I go to bed, Daisy goes to bed. I get up in the morning to go to my office, Daisy goes to the office. Was in a workshop last night. Everywhere I'm at, Daisy's there.
So does Petunia follow around Ann?
Petunia follows around Ann, sits with Ann. Now what Petunia likes to do is upset Daisy and jump into my lap. And Daisy will sit there and get really mad.
Dogs are funny like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got a dog she's 12, so she's very old. She's got a lot of health things in the last couple of years, but love her so much. I could not imagine my life without her. So we are joined by Meredith Minter, and Meredith is with SMASH. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the organization and kind of what you guys do?
Well, sure. So SMASH stands for Supporting Mansfield Animal Shelter, and we are just, I say, a group of folks. It's the online community that supports the Mansfield Animal Shelter. We post all of the pictures of all the animals that are available, and get all their information out there to everybody.
So you guys, did y'all just decided, hey, this is something that's missing, like the community connection with the shelter, and did you start this, or did somebody else start it, or how did that happen?
It's funny, I was just thinking about this, because I had to think back. So it's been 10 years this year.
Oh, awesome.
In August, actually.
Wow,
August 1st.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks. Time flies, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking that I was actually reading a newspaper. So you think, guess we were reading newspapers 10 years ago? I feel like that wasn't a thing for a long time, but apparently. I was reading a newspaper, and there's an article about something that was going on in Rockwall. And there was a community organization that came in and helped. And I said, hey, I'd love to talk to you about this. We had lunch. He told me what he did. And next thing you know, here we are.
That's awesome. So did you just go to the shelter and say, hey, we'd like to support you? What does that look like? I mean, do they, because they're pretty interactive with you, right? Mm-hmm. So they communicate. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Oh, yes. So it's just me, but I don't consider it just me.
Gotcha.
Because you got it's an online community that's now come behind you, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So SMASH is all of us. I'm the one behind it, but it's all of us, right?
Yeah.
But originally, it was me that came, and I said, hey, I want to talk to you. Lori at the shelter, what do you think about this? And I'll tell you, she could have responded to me in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Because you think, normally when people come into the shelter and they say, hey, I want to come help, what they mean is,
like, I want to give you
I want to come help.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you what's up all along the way.
Exactly.
You know? So they, with very little information to back that up.
Right.
But no, she was welcoming out of the gate. We clicked immediately, and it is the reason that the page has become what it's become today, and what we've become today.
Wow.
It's because of our relationship.
So
she's
tell me a
been
little bit
amazing.
more about what you guys do. So pretend that I know nothing.
Okay.
So I'm listening to this. I don't know anything whatsoever other than I like to listen to PB and Jaisy podcast. And they're talking about SMASH and the Mansfield animal shelter. So explain what's all involved in that.
Okay, so we are primarily on Facebook. There's Glenda Beckwith. She'll come in every now and again. She'll come take pictures of the animals. We post those. We post other things that we have of all of the animals. But if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see all of the dogs, all of the cats. We ask for all the support. Hey, share with all your friends. Businesses. Oh my gosh, I love the support of businesses. Please share with everybody you know. But I guess what we are is we're a central place to support the animal shelter, but also it's a place for the community to be involved. Because we don't really have a volunteer program at the shelter. It's a little complicated, but there is no real volunteer program. So this is a way for the community to come in and be a part of things. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and because it's, anything that's city or government ran, there's so much red tape and there's so many things it's hard for them to go fundraise because a lot of times if a city goes and fundraises and that money is not necessarily earmarked for the right thing. So you guys kind of have a way to do your own thing and support without the red tape, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if y'all haven't visited the Facebook page, be prepared to adopt an animal.
Yeah.
But I see y'all post all the time. Has the adoption rate gone up a lot since you guys have been involved?
I mean, yes, absolutely. It's, yes. I mean, it bridges the gap.
Not many people are gonna go follow the animal shelter. You
Or
know what I mean?
a lot of times, people will have to actually go in person and see, and no one wants to go there all the time and see what animals are there. Instead, it's a lot easier to see. And a thing that I like is y'all kind of bring a personality to the animal of not just this is this, dog that's this age and, whatever. It's more kind of he's energetic and he's this and he's that. And, so you're just kind of oh, okay, this sounds like the type of dog that I'd be interested in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and that's good that you said that because that's something that we really want to. It's easy to get drawn in by the face. You go, oh, that's a cute little dog. Yeah. Well, that's also a puppy. So can we talk about puppies for a second? Because if you're not up for it, then that dog's just going to come back to the shelter in 6 months, which I can't tell you how often that happens.
Oh, no.
Oh, a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's the fact that sometimes they're not pulled in as an actual family member. They're just a cute little, stuffed toy.
A lot of people like the
saw.
idea of having an animal, but don't really think through
the work
real
that
responsibility
goes into it.
behind it.
For sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when they're puppies, because they're like babies. You have to take them out and train them, and they cry, and it's a whole thing.
Yes.
So, and you guys don't just do the Facebook page; you do community events as well. So, can you tell us a little bit about when you bring animals? Because you bring animals out to events as well, right?
Okay, so the community events have changed over the last couple of years, and we're just kind of getting back into that. But I will tell you that the events that take place, they're really the shelters events that we're there for.
Gotcha.
Now, that is expanding, and so there's kind of a TBD factor to that whole piece of it.
So this is all as COVID unwinds and we can do things again. Is that
Yes.
Okay.
And how we evolve, and so there could be some things that are a little bit different there. But really, the events that are taking place are the shelter going out and doing things. We just had a Century 21 event. That was awesome. Klein Tools just did an event. And I don't know if you saw that there's a dog that's been there since, June or something that was adopted at that event.
So what do those events look like?
But what do the adoption events look like?
Yeah, so you said the Klein and the Century 21. What do those events look like?
Okay, so the Klein event was more of that was a private event. They did this huge event for appreciation for their employees.
Oh, awesome.
And so this was, so 3 big adoptions there. The other event was open to, Century 21 event was open to anybody. Now we have a couple events that are coming up. The Barks and Rec event, which I hope everybody looks into because it is award-winning, literally. Ann Beck created this. So this is one of my favorite things.
Awesome.
Tell us about it.
You can tell by your face.
Yeah, you were so excited.
It's so fun. You know, you think these animals, they just sit there in the shelter all day and they want to get out and they want to play and they want to go smell things and be a part of it. So Anne came up with this program where the shelter comes in and they bring a certain amount of animals out, but volunteers, this is one volunteer program that people can sign up for. Volunteers show up to walk the dogs and they walk them all over nature park.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it's like a day out.
It's like a dog parade.
It's a dog. It is a dog parade because every time we go out there, people are always like, "What's happening? Are you at the shelter?" Or they'll know it's a Parks and Rec event because they've seen it online, or And I always love that. And the dogs are always so happy to see everybody. They're happy to be with each other. It's really good. I love the event because I like to see how the dogs interact with each other and what their energy level's like. What are they like on a leash?
Right.
How are they with people, big and small?
Right.
And
are people allowed? Are they allowed to adopt on site? Like, do y'all have
sometimes.
that? Okay.
Sometimes it depends on how many. It's always a employee thing, whether or not there's enough people to be able to handle that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because usually the person that's there, they've got these same people that are also on call, so you can be pulled in different directions. It becomes a little problematic. But yes, there are events sometimes after the Parks and Rec. You can go online right now and you can sign up for those to come
volunteer.
walk a dog.
And is that through the animal shelter?
Well, it's through the Parks Department.
Parks Department.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. So how many dogs have you adopted from the shelter?
I was about to ask the same thing.
From the shelter? Well, okay, so...
Or cats, I guess. Animals.
Oh, I wish I could have cats.
Are you allergic?
No, my little dog is naughty.
Oh, not. Gotcha.
And I've really worked with him on it a lot.
Yeah.
But he is just a full-fledged hunter.
Yeah.
The poor possums in my backyard. Yeah. But I guess in my adult life, we always think about our...
Yeah.
Okay, well, since I'm an adult, I had my two big ones. They were both adopted, but they're gone. So I feel your pain on that.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yes. Right now I have 3, 13, 12, and 6.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So you've got so many different energy levels with this between the 6 and then the 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But you know what? They all work really well together.
Right.
And they're all a black one, a white one, a brown one. So nothing is safe.
Yeah.
There's no
Every color.
No rug is safe. Nothing's safe.
That's
but
awesome.
it's okay. You embrace the fur.
It's part of it. Yeah.
Where did your love for this start? Like, have you always just loved animals and this has just kind of been your passion? And then when when you were reading that newspaper, it was just kind of like, ding, this is something that I want to be involved in?
Yeah, so I've been in rescue for a long time. And I'll tell you, rescue is tough. It's hard on the heart. It's hard on the heart for the people at the shelter. It's easy to think that it's so easy to just go through this and you adopt them out and all of those things. It's not. It is. It's good. It's good to make the positive change, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of sadness. It's a front row seat to a lot of things you'd rather not see sometimes, But I've been in rescue for so long, and then it just kind of became a lot, having so many in the house all the time, and it became a little tough on my own pack, having the revolving door fosters. And so then this came up, and I thought, I think that's something I can do where I can still give in just a different way. And then this has just exploded, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of really good, fun stuff,
Right.
But and it gets better and better and better every year.
That's awesome. We have some friends that adopted or fostered for a long time. And she said they started out with one, and then when they find a good candidate, they seem to overwork them or give them animals.
Yes.
And so they'd have 4 or 5 dogs at a time, and it was always revolving door, like you said. And it was a labor of love. They said it was one of the hardest things they've done, but it was so rewarding. But they finally they've got a small grandchild now and they've got other things that they have to do, and it's just they've had to scale back. But you find a good person and it's just like, here, have all the dogs.
And people always say, I can't foster because I can't give them up.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You have this relationship with them, but that's part of the change. That's part of
The
going
transition.
through it and then seeing them onto their final, home, hopefully. That's the good stuff. And so that's how it works. And then you go to the next one, you have that one. It's just different.
Right.
It's just different.
And I know that there are so many different opportunities with different, I don't know if y'all do this as well, but with a lot of fostering and things like that where like you can foster, but then there's also other ways to help. Like sometimes dogs just need transport to wherever their, parents are going to be, or even to like a special doctor's visit or whatever. And sometimes they just need someone to volunteer to take them to these places.
Yes.
Do y'all foster any or have anything like that people can help out with as well?
Yes. So, yes, we do need help with animals being transported sometimes to and from. There's places sometimes in Austin they need to go to. There's places sometimes Dallas, here, all over the place. I'll tell you, we'll post, hey, we need this dog needs a lift to wherever, and people will show up immediately to
That's
go
awesome.
do that. Now, as far as fostering animals, they really like to have the animals in the shelter for the most part, so that they're there when somebody shows up to meet them. But there's opportunities for medical fosters. So, if we've got a mama, or
If they're like healing from
something, and also puppies and kittens. We like to get them out of the shelter so they can socialize, and they're really young. So let them sort of build up their own immune systems a little bit, socialize and all of that. We've got 14 kittens right now. We need fosters for, and I do foster kittens because I have another room that I can put them again away from my naughty little guy.
You're not a keep
But
dog.
yeah. But then I give them back, when the time comes and they go to their happy homes. But yes, we do definitely transporting. Those medical fosters for kittens and puppies and mamas, and volunteers for the Barks and Rec. And we do have another one coming up as of Monday, and this hasn't even been announced yet. So
You heard it here
hot off
first.
the press. That's right. It's Doggy Day Out, and so this one's going to be great. Part of really helping these animals is continuing their socialization, but also keeping them mentally sound. You can imagine in this kennel, it's tough on them mentally. So starting Monday, you can come and check out a dog for the day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, take them to the park, go take them to PetSmart, just hang out with them and let them have a good time and, get out some of that energy. And
That's really cool.
Have a test run and then adopt them.
Yeah, that's something
right.
we could do for sure. I'm having puppy fever for sure.
Oh, I can help with that.
So tell us how big is the animal shelter? Like how many animals does it currently hold? Like what's the limit? Do you know?
I don't know that I can answer that question. Our shelter is really pretty small compared to other shelters.
Because Mansfield's grown a lot, and I don't think that shelter has expanded since I've been here, but I don't know.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
We need a new shelter.
Yeah.
We need a new shelter in a big way. We have outgrown, this happens with cities. Dallas got huge, but their roads didn't catch up.
Right.
We've kind of got that with the shelter, and I really hope that we see a bigger, new, fancier shelter in our future.
Awesome.
These new shelters are really great.
Did y'all hear that, City Council? Are you
Yeah, I was
listening
going to
to
say,
that?
is that on the plans?
It needs to be on the plans.
Okay.
So it would be great if everybody used their voice to help make that happen.
Yeah.
What I've learned about Mansfield is that if people ask for it, if it's something that is important and people show up and they say, hey, we need this, then the council will respond.
Right.
You know, it's just a matter of who shows up, how many voices are out there.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I would love lots and lots of voices on that front. A different shelter would be nice, much bigger. You know, I would say in terms of the ones that are adoptable, maybe there's 8 to 10 adoptable at any given time, but it depends on if they're back to back.
Right.
Because you can open them up and make the kennels bigger or smaller. So, I mean, there could be more than that. But
they
that's
need
just
to.
the dogs, and then there's a whole cat thing. So that's why it's even more important that adoptions happen a lot, because we got to keep it going.
Right.
You know,
There's
we got to
new-
keep it moving.
Right.
You get a big group of animals come in. There's no place to put them, so you got to keep everything rolling.
So, and I hate to bring this up, but is Mansfield a no-kill shelter, or how does that
No,
work?
I'm actually glad that you brought that up. This is important. There are very few shelters that are no-kill shelters.
Yeah. Because they just can't. There's no room, right? They just run out of room, and there's
Manpower,
Right.
room.
resources, food.
Yeah.
So walk us through, not obviously the
The euthanization.
but walk us through the time frame.
Of what happens.
You get a new resident, you get a new animal in the shelter. Mm-hmm. What time frame do we have to get that animal adopted?
So the great thing about Mansfield is that there is no actual time frame. So as long as, this is the important part, as long as they're happy and healthy and there is available space, then they can remain a resident until their adoption day.
Okay, but
What
as the
happens-
city grows and we're building more houses, which brings more animals, which brings
Right.
more candidates for
Yeah.
the shelter, and the shelter's not growing, that's going to become a problem.
Yes, it's
So-
already a problem.
So is it the first one, first in, first out, or is it
No.
hey, here?
What happens is if they don't have room.
Decisions are made.
Yeah,
And it's not generally with the ones that are already up for adoptions, it's the ones that are coming in.
coming in.
So you walk in and you say, here, I'm out. When you sign on the dotted line, you're attesting to the fact that you are,
You know what could happen.
yes.
Right. Now,
yes.
is that normally
And
how
it's
it
not
happens?
hidden
Is it
at all.
normally people turning in their own animals? Like, I never even thought about that.
Let me tell you, if it was only about stray dogs, Sarah has said this before too, at the shelter. If it was only about stray dogs, there would not be a problem.
Yeah.
It's the surrender dogs. And sometimes, I always try to leave room for the fact that people need help. And we want to help those people, right? So we have to be careful in how we judge. But then there's sometimes that you just go,
Like, why? Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
And it always happens.
Holidays, Christmas.
Holidays,
Yeah.
I've heard when people have kids, when they have babies,
when people have babies.
they get rid of the dog.
Yes, it's always around, spring break. Can't find anybody to come, take care of them.
Oh, I
I just
couldn't
take them to
imagine
the
that.
shelter.
Oh.
Can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get rid of them because you can't have someone watch them while you go on a vacation. That's
At least there's a place to take them, and I guess that's the positive side because, not many years ago they still do in the country. They just drive by and kick the animal out of the
it
car.
still happens.
That happens to us a lot. When we lived in town, but we were outside the city limits, but we were close. And we just had a little acre that was fenced, but we lived on about 120 acres. So people all the time would throw them over into our fence all the time with our other dogs. Like, here, they'll have a nice little, we didn't get a choice in the matter. And then we're out where we're at now, dogs just run crazy. They're just wild, they'll run wherever. But
There was a place in Grand Prairie that I used to know a lady that she would go out there and she would it was just her mission in life. It was the reason for her existence, that she helped these animals out there they would always dump them in the same place. And the thing is, you guys, these animals, they sit there and they wait in the same spot for their people to show back
come
up.
back up. Oh, that's so sad.
They do it when you drop them off at the shelter. They sit there and they wait and they go, oh, my person's definitely not going to
so
leave me
sad.
here. it's heart-wrenching. It's awful.
Have you guys seen that TikTok of it's this guy and he gets out of his truck because he sees this little kitten and he's like, oh, he has like some food or whatever. He was going to come save this kitten. And then all of a sudden, like all these kittens start coming out with this. And it was probably like 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
And you just see these little eyes all just start to pop up like, oh, we're going somewhere. And they all just start, and he's like, I can't take you all. Like, it's really cute. But I mean, he did. He did take them all. I didn't do a follow-up on it. But
I know. I wanted a follow-up.
Yeah, it's so sad that someone just left these cats here.
Like somehow they're going to have the ability to become lions and get out there and just take care of themselves.
Yeah. And people forget, like, these are domesticated animals. Like, we get animals originally came from the wild, but these are dogs that have been bred for years and they're domesticated. They're not a coyote. They haven't been taught and trained to survive like that. And it makes me sad.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So y'all need to get out and adopt, by the way.
Adopt, don't shop.
You know, we've got a little segment called Tales from the Lockbox.
So this one I found online. It made me laugh really hard. This lady was trying to get a dog adopted. I don't know if she was fostering or whatever, but she was trying to get this dog adopted. But it wasn't a nice dog. She didn't have a lot of nice things to say about it. So she said, I've tried for the last several months to post this dog for adoption and make him sound palatable. She wrote, the problem is he's just not. There's not a very big market for neurotic, man-hating, animal-hating, children-hating dogs that look like gremlins. And it was this little Chihuahua. And the picture that they show, he's got like a gold chain and he's making this like really mean, like growling face. And she says, I'm really tired and so is my family. Every day we live in the grips of a demonic Chihuahua hellscape he has created in our home. So she was just completely honest about this animal and said, this is what it is. You know, he loves women, but that's it. That's the only thing he loves. He loves nothing else. He hates everything else. So they actually did, though, get the dog adopted because the post went viral because she was honest about the dog. And the new owner has kept him, and he's fine. Prancer. Aww. Little Prancer the Chihuahua. Y'all need to look up the picture. It's pretty. He's kind of scary looking.
Is he?
Little dogs are scarier to me.
Well, Chihuahuas always seem to be very
ankle biters.
Ankle biters.
Yeah.
And they love one.
I think it's like little man syndrome. You know, you're small, so you got to be mighty. You know.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not afraid of big dogs. Like I prefer bigger dogs, but smaller dogs are always scary to me because I feel like they're just gonna nip you and the incessant barking,
bite your nose off or something.
Wow. Well, on that we probably ought to level up.
Level up.
This is a quote from Josh Billings. A dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. And then C.J. Frick said, and I love this, be the person your dog thinks you are.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really
great.
good.
Yeah. That's such a connection that you have with your dog. Like I've told Tom so many times, like there's something about like you could be the worst person. Like you could like literally just be a crazy person, but you come home and your dog just thinks you are amazing and is just happy to see you. Or no matter how much like you forget to like pet them or whatever, they don't care. They still are faithful and just want you to like hang out with them. And
it's probably the only example we have on earth with unconditional love.
Yeah.
You know, can do almost anything. Like you said, you could drop your dog off in the middle of nowhere and it would sit there and wait.
Well, try this.
Yeah.
I'll go home. I'll put Ann in a trunk and I'll drive around for a few hours.
Try that. Do it.
And then I will put Daisy in a trunk and drive around for a few hours. One of them's going to love me. One of them's going to kill me. Which one do you think's going to do it?
Yeah. Well, Ann's going to kill you. I kind of feel like Ann's going to be on Dateline at some point. You need to clean up your act.
We're hearing all these little things.
Yes.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for being here and telling us so much about Smash and the amazing things that you guys are doing for the animals in our community. And we will have links down below for how you guys can attend Barks and Rec and Doggy Day Out, and also how you can help with Smash and
follow the Facebook page.
Yes.
It's awesome.
They have a donation link.
Yes.
For the Lucky Fund.
Oh, also
we'll put that on there.
We will
too.
put all of
It's a
that in
big
the
one.
description box. So again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe, share this with someone that you know, and with that, we out.
Yeah.
Out.
Just had a chat, talk this and that with PB and Jaisy.